So, for those of you that don't follow me on Instagram or anything, then you probably have not seen my haircut, my new haircut, and everything. And I don't really like it. That was why I decided not to show it off and everything. But at this point, I don't really care that much. But a while ago, you guys had voted on the poll that you wanted to hear me tell a story about um, how I smashed my finger in a door as a kid over the food poisoning story. But some people sometimes I remember they would be like, "Oh, I wanted to hear this story. Why didn't you tell this story? I voted on it for a reason." I'm like, "Sorry, it was a popular vote, I guess." Same thing with freaking presidents. So for the people who did want to hear the other story about the worst food poisoning I'd ever had, then here you go. So basically, this happened about 2 weeks ago or so, something like that. And we had decided that we would go to Dairy Queen. My cousins were over at my grandpa's house, and one of them is 8 years old, so I guess they were able to agree. Okay, yeah, let's do Dairy Queen. And it was one of those places that happened to be special, and I guess you already know how I feel about Dairy Queen, so maybe they must have known that I was making fun of them, so I angered the gods of Dairy Queen. They got mad, so they said, okay, next time you eat here, you're gonna get sick. And that is exactly what happened. So basically, it was a grill and chill restaurant, which, if you guys didn't already know, they end up serving ice cream as well as hot dogs and burgers and all kinds of shit. So I decided to order the flamethrower burger, and the burger was actually very good. It was really tasty, honestly, and it had bacon and hot sauce, and it was really good. And I'm getting hungry again just thinking about it. But usually, if something tastes bad, then you're probably gonna get sick. Like if it tastes really, really bad, you're gonna get sick, such as this time that I ordered, chicken nuggets from Dairy Queen, not Dairy Queen, from Burger King, and they tasted literally like fucking sandpaper. They were nasty. They're probably one of the worst chicken nuggets I'd ever had, and everything. There's probably a reason why it's only like a buck for 10 of them at this point. And pretty much, yeah, every time I eat at Dairy Queen, I get food poisoning, I guess. But not every time I eat at other restaurants. Like maybe I'll get food poisoning from McDonald's. Maybe like once every year, if even. And I don't know what they were doing with the food, maybe handling it wrong or something. I really have no idea. But yeah, I ate the burger around 12 o'clock or something along those lines, something around that time. And later in the day, about 6 o'clock or so, we were going to have dinner and all that. And I was just telling my grandpa, I don't really feel very good. My stomach feels kind of fucked up. I don't really think that I want to eat dinner. So then I went down to his guest house and everything, this place I'm staying in now. I went down there and all that. And I just was just sitting there like, I really don't feel good. My stomach hurts. So I drank some ginger ale and everything because that's usually what it'll do when my stomach feels all screwed up. It'll just sort of settle my stomach and everything. So I drank some of that, and that worked for about 10 minutes. And then after that, I threw up and everything, and I was like, okay, maybe I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with this ginger ale. So I just pretty much just threw up the soda and everything, so I wasn't even realizing and all that. And then after I threw up the soda. Then about 5 minutes later, I threw up all the food. And this is where it gets to be a little bit too much information. But I mean, I just kind of want to tell the story and not leave out any details or anything. I was literally throwing up, and then all of a sudden, I feel sort of from my stomach and my intestines and everything that I'm gonna have to shit too. So then I get in the toilet and everything, and it's literally the puke is still about to be coming up. So I literally grabbed the trash can, and I was literally pooping and puking at the same exact time. Because the thing that was so weird was I remember it was ridiculous. I've never had it where it's like this with a poop. I was literally on the toilet and everything, and I was trying to use the toilet, and I don't even know why. Like I don't know if there was not enough fiber in my diet or some shit. I really don't know what the problem was with this. Is I was trying, and I felt like I was pushing ridiculously hard, so hard that it hurt, and I couldn't even get the poop out or anything. And it literally felt like I was giving birth. It was so ridiculous. Obviously, as a man, never given birth, but I mean that's what I would imagine giving birth feels like. So I was just using the toilet, just pushing hard and everything, and then finally I'm freaking look this poop out this monster turd. It's huge and everything. I was like, geez, it is the biggest dump I've ever taken. So then it just literally reminds me of that episode of South Park where Randy, I think, I don't really watch that show that much. Freaking black haired guy who you might know him from that meme where he like jerked off or something and there's jizz everywhere. That guy, I think his name's Randy, but I don't really know. Maybe correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But that fucking guy. There was some episode where he had like the world's biggest poop and everything, and he put it in a museum or something. Yeah, it was just reminded me of that. So yeah, I felt like him after taking the world's giant, most biggest dump. So then after that, I literally continued to throw up and more and everything, and then I pretty much got all that out of my system. And then after that, it was like the floodgates just freaking opened because I had the most crazy diarrhea where it was coming out of my system at like a million miles per hour. It was all just like ridiculous. I don't even know if you would call that explosive diarrhea, but maybe it literally felt like that. So it was not very fun, and it literally felt, it was so weird. I've never had it where I've had a ridiculous, like the hardest poop to pass ever, and then the easiest poop to pass ever. I've never had anything, any juxtaposition of that. It's usually if I'm having diarrhea, then I'll have diarrhea again. If I'm having regular poop, I'll have regular poop throughout the day again and all that. So yeah, it was weird, and I definitely knew it was food poisoning because I did start to get a headache and everything, and that's when I start throwing up. I get a migraine headache and all that crap, and that is usually the sign that I'm going to get sick. So then after that, I mean, essentially, what happened was after I had finished throwing up, usually when I have a headache, the headache won't just go away after I finish getting sick. I'll usually end up having to deal with it for the rest of the night, maybe if like the medicine is working and everything. And pretty much like a couple minutes after I took the medicine, I just took some Advil and everything. I literally um, probably threw up the Advil because I mean I don't even think it gave my stomach time to digest before I just upchucked everywhere. So yeah, usually I'd have to deal with it for the rest of the night or however long it took for the medicine to kick in because sometimes it doesn't even work at all. Because you know it has to work around digesting other food that's already in your stomach before it can digest the other stuff. So yeah, essentially I felt pretty much like 95% better after that. Like I felt a little bit tired and fatigued, but this usually happens when I throw up and all that. But yeah, that is pretty much the end of that story. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'm sorry if you didn't want to hear this, but this is just for the people who said they did want to hear it and everything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story all about worst food poisoning I ever had at Dairy Queen. I definitely won't be eating there for a long time. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So I will see you guys next time.